I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Good morning and happy Saturday to you all. A lot of football on today. We got a man on the scene. Mac is in Morgantown for the game. It's like college game day, man. We're on site. Well, Mac is. I'm in my normal spot.
He's been drinking since like 4:30, so.
Yeah, he was sending out nonsense.
4:30 yesterday afternoon.
He was sending out nonsensical tweets like 3 hours ago. First, community. Get it together, man. Look at AI's attempt at our pictures.
That was great.
Community
I did well.
Community goes 11-21-1 in terms of the picks. Kyle wins 19-13-1, going for back-to-back wins. The Mac was in second, Scoop was in third. So community, get it together with these votes, man. Yeah, so hold on. I just have to update the graphics real quick. Take about 30 seconds. There's a lot of them. We're going through 36 games, and then we're going to start ripping through it. If you see the screen skipping for the next 10 seconds, that's normal. Just updating the graphics, and then we'll get started. Mac, how's you fired up out there?
Oh, yeah. You know, I had a nice night. I caught up with Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey, some Mountaineer greats. And, yeah, I mean, I think I played Sweet Caroline about 999 times last night. So always eat shit Pitt. And if you bet on Pitt today, best of luck. That's a loser.
Yeah, I hope you're right because I didn't bet on Pitt. But let's go ahead and get started. I think the pick graphics are ready. Oregon, Northwestern. Mac, you said you were taking the points in this one or considering taking the points, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a sleepy spot, I think, for Oregon. They went out of their way to, like, run up the score on Oklahoma State, the worst program in the Big 12 right now. And the game's on Lakeside, so I think this is a sleepy spot. 10 a.m. kick for Oregon locally. And Northwestern, as long as they just don't turn the ball over like they did in that Tulane game, I think they can stay within this number. I don't get me wrong. Oregon's going to win. But, I mean, give me Oregon by 17, 21 points. I'll take the points.
Yeah, it would only be Northwestern for me as well. I can't get it looks like the 12 o'clock game graphics are missing for some reason. Scoop, what do you think?
I don't think Northwestern regresses back to week one when they played Tulane, but I think it's going to come close here. I think Oregon's a very complete team. Northwestern is not. I really do want to take Northwestern here. I wanted to take them when it was above 4 touchdowns. That game against Oklahoma State, that was kind of hard to comprehend from Oregon. Mike Gundy getting rocked by 66. I think I'm going to roll with Oregon here. I don't really see any reason that slows down. I mean, Northwestern, it's not that cold yet, even when playing on the lake in that temporary stadium. Preston Stone looked good last week, but it was Western Illinois, arguably the worst team in the Ohio Valley. Oregon should really steamroll these guys as good as I like Northwestern's, we talked about recruiting and transfer class. So I think Oregon's going to be able to stop anything Preston Stone throws at them. I think Northwestern's run game is the only thing that could actually work here, but not enough to
What
cover.
Run game? Though they didn't run.
I said the only thing that could is their run game. But, yeah.
If Northwestern could run the ball, I honestly probably would have bet this, but yeah,
I'm on Oregon.
I'll just put Northwestern up. I finally got the pick graphics up. I don't think I've ever done 36 games before, so this is a new challenge here.
Rapid fire, baby.
Yep. All right. So Northwestern, Oregon, and the chat is on Oregon. Scoop, are you recording that?
Yeah, I got everything.
All right, cool. Next up, Clemson, Georgia Tech. Man, this line moved a lot. People were getting Georgia Tech at 6.5 early in the week. I'm not sure on the Clemson offensive line. I couldn't find anything definitive. I haven't checked in the last couple hours, but as of last night, we're still not getting any information on whether those two pieces are going to play. And that's been a factor in both games for Clemson. This is supposed to be an elite offensive line coming into the season. They've been missing pieces, and we saw Troy getting to Klubnik. LSU absolutely destroyed in terms of the battle up front. So it's tough to back Clemson without knowing that. But down at 3, it's really tough to argue against Clemson. My pick for the show, I'm going to put up under. I ended up not betting this game, though, because of the uncertainty. I would love to bet Clemson at 3. And now, you know what? For the show, I'll go Clemson -3. My picks for the game were Clemson and under. But for the show, I'll put Clemson -3 up. Scoop?
Yeah, I mean, I was down to 2.5 at one point this morning. I mean, I kind of like Georgia Tech here. I know Clemson doesn't look good so far. I like Haynes King back for this one. They didn't need him, last game against Gardner Webb, but yeah, they're gonna need King on the road. I mean, Clemson was down 16-3 to Troy. They played a second-grade half. Their defense was good, but their offense still looks lost. I don't want to overreact to Clemson against Troy, but this is 2 straight weeks where the offense wasn't clicking. I know Clemson was without their starters, but I mean, the backup should have done a good job against Troy. And I think Georgia Tech's a really solid team. Haynes King is better than Goose Crowder who was piecing up Clemson's secondary. So, yeah, I mean, like I said one day, this is the first time Clemson has been to Georgia Tech since 2018 with fans in the crowd because they were there for COVID. But and the other point is, I know Georgia Tech lost to Clemson 9 times in a row, but this is the best team in a decade for Georgia Tech. So give me them.
Mac?
Yeah, I'm buying Clemson on the dip here. I just think that the Clemson hate's gone a little bit too far, and every time we see Dabo, everybody doubts him. They pop up here. So Clemson did this last year. They sucked in the non-con, and then they rolled through the ACC. So I think they're able to stack the box, stop the run. Haynes King, I think he's great, but I just think that Georgia Tech's going to struggle to run the football here today. I just need a little bit of Clemson offense, and I think that they'll cover this number. So. Give me Dabo and company. Go Tigers.
Yeah, there's one area of Clemson that hasn't disappointed yet, and it's the defensive front. No one's running on Clemson. I think Georgia Tech's going to struggle to move the ball too. Clemson are under for me. Next one. This is kind of an annoying matchup for Oklahoma. You got this game sandwiched in between Michigan, and then they play Auburn next. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Was it Auburn? They play South Carolina?
Yeah, Auburn.
It is Auburn.
Jackson Arnold Bowl.
Yeah, Missouri is the one that has South Carolina on deck. Another one of those sandwich games. But yeah, they have Auburn on deck, and they have this weird game in Philly, sandwiched between the primetime game against Michigan and then the game against Auburn. A weird spot. Casey Keeler's offense is kind of annoying for Oklahoma that has a big, strong defensive front. Casey Keeler's entire offense is based around getting defensive linemen off balance. This is definitely an annoying matchup. Do they have the actual talent to keep this within 24? That's a different question. Mac, do you think Casey Keeler can keep this somewhat close?
You know I do. Casey Keeler's my guy, man. I think he's one of the most underrated coaches in the country, and I thought Temple hit a home run hiring him. This is the first half money line. I think that Temple sleepy spot here at the link. There's gonna be like 5 people there because nobody ever goes to Temple games. But Oklahoma coming off the great Michigan game. I love Mateer. Everybody's talking Heisman. But I think it's a sleepy spot here, and Temple's chippy as a home dog here, and I'll take the points, and I'll sprinkle on that first half money line.
What is the first half money line at estimation?
I think it's like 6-1.
All right. Scoop, don't make fun of Mateer in front of Scoop.
Max been drinking way too long already.
I love Mateer.
I see a lot of people on Temple. This is a letdown game for Oklahoma after Michigan. Evan Simon's the next Patrick Mahomes. I hear Philadelphia is the true capital of the United States. Yeah, I mean, they're throwing everything out of there. I'm not betting Temple. They had cute wins over UMass and Howard. And now they host Oklahoma, which is kind of cool at Lincoln Financial. I mean, Simon has nine touchdowns, 0 picks, but look who he's played. Oklahoma is gonna, I think, shut down everything Temple does. Like Max says, I mean, I like Temple. I love the coach. I love what they've been doing offensively. I mean, Temple never has an offense the way they've looked in the last 2 games, but they're facing a team that has an offense that has, like you said, potential Heisman quarterback and a Sooner savior, John Mateer. The thing I'm concerned about is Temple's defense here. They had a depleted defense from last year. They had 2 warm-up games for this one, but the talent Oklahoma has with Mateer, with Burks, and they established a running game, which they really haven't against Michigan. This game's going to get out of hand. It's still Temple, no matter who the coach is or what kind of talent's there. I think Temple loses their next 4. Philadelphia sucks. Terrible city, bad people. They have good food, but yeah, I'm not backing Philadelphia.
I'll take Temple for the show. We still haven't gotten to one of my bets. I have a lot of bets today, but we haven't gotten to one yet. Yeah, like I already just talked about it. Just a weird spot for Oklahoma. And Temple's a tricky team, Casey Keeler's offense. So I'll take a Temple plus the points, but I'm not really interested in actually putting money on it. Let's go on to the next one. Wisconsin, Alabama, another one where it's like these early games are tough. I said Wisconsin or pass on the video I uploaded. Alabama or pass. On the video I uploaded. Wisconsin's defense makes me really worried to lay a big number because the defense is living up to the hype, but they're missing a linebacker today. And I just don't know if I could trust O'Neal to move the ball here in Tuscaloosa. I said coming into the year, I thought Alabama was going to be one of, if not the best defense in the country. And then we saw that opening game, Florida State kind of pieced them up. But you got to keep in mind, man, Gus Malzahn and Castellanos, they had all the advantages in that game. No one really knew what to expect. They had no film on them. First game of the year, they completely had the element of surprise. So I'm not going to let that game completely change my opinion of Alabama's defense. They followed it up by pitching a shutout. Granted, it was against Louisiana Monroe. But it's Alabama for me under 3 touchdowns. So I'm going to put Alabama up for my pick for the show. Scoop?
I'm going to take Wisconsin in the points. I'm only taking Wisconsin because of their defense, obviously not their offense. But I think Wisconsin's loaded, like I said, on the defensive side. They killed Middle Tennessee. I mean, they killed Miami, Ohio, 2 quality offenses. Okay, not really, but they are an awesome defense. It's what's going to have them in every game. I like I said, probably not their offense. And Danny O'Neal's here, the quarterback again. Danny O'Neal's not a terrible quarterback. He has flashes. He did at San Diego State. I think he can move the ball semi-well, or at least move the ball enough to cover here. I know Ty Simpson only went 17 for 17 last week. It's going to have a bit of a harder time here. I am really high on Wisconsin's defense. I think they have the same kind of defense, really, Florida State had in that opener. Obviously, if Wisconsin was home, I'd like this a ton more, but I want to see Alabama do it against a Power 4 team. UL Monroe is obviously hot garbage. I think this game would go under, too, but I think Ty Simpson's going to have a little bit of a rough start here.
Mac?
Roll Tide roll. I think Wisconsin sucks. I just like I know they're on the backup quarterback. Maybe you get a little bit of an emotional 1-game bump, but I think Alabama still is trying to get back from what happened at Florida State in week 1. So I think Alabama's pretty good. And they just they laid an egg in week 1, and I think Ryan Williams back, and I think they're going to roll today.
Someone just asked in the comments, is Ryan Williams playing? I read yesterday expected to play. So yeah, I believe he is. Jam Miller was the one that was still up in the air. I don't know if you'll see him, but he's going to be back soon. But I think Ryan Williams will play in this one. I read expected to play. It's college football, man. Who knows? But I read expected to play, and that was kind of recent. That was like 12 hours ago when I read that. Central Michigan, Scoop, Alabama. The community was on.
This game sucks.
I mean, I think I picked Central Michigan or under in the video. So for the show, because we're making picks on every game, I'll put the under up. But I think Central Michigan might score 0 points. So like I legitimately think this game might be like 38-0 and stay under the total. So. I'll just put the under up. Man, these there's a lot of noon games that are just really tough to make a pick for the show. It's like, what the hell do you pick for this game? For those of you that don't know, Central Michigan, super slow pace. They run the option offense. Drinkall, the new head coach, he comes from Army. So that just gives you the idea of what kind of offense they're running here. And it's just it's tough to score a lot of points in a Central Michigan game the way they're currently playing. So look, Michigan should kill them, but the super slow pace and then running the clock, I just say 38-0 Michigan. I really don't know, to be honest. Mac, Drinkall, stay within 4 touchdowns here.
Yeah, you know I'm going to take the points with the triple option. Let's go. Hey, by the way, this is the Connor Stallions game. Connor Stallions he was on the sideline with the Central Michigan gear for Sparty, the national championship year. So give me the points, little brother angle, but I'm not. This isn't a strong conviction play.
Yeah. Scoop, any strong conviction here?
No strong conviction. I actually, before you talked, I like the under 2. I think this is going to go. I know it's only 43, which is wild, but I think this is going to be a slow-paced game. Central Michigan really can't move the ball that well. They don't have a passing game. So, I feel like this is just going to be a run fest for both sides. I feel like this. I mean, covering 28 with a total of 43 is kind of wild. But yeah, I don't see Central Michigan even scoring like 7 points. So I don't know. I would definitely go under here. I don't see this as being like a dynamic game. I feel like this is going to end at like 2 o'clock.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Man, it would have been awesome to grab one of those early Troy +7s. I think this is going to be the first game where we see Memphis missing Hennigan in terms of, so far, Memphis has been able to run the ball, and they haven't had problems doing so. Now they're on the road against Troy, and man, Troy, I was saying this in the offseason video that me and Scoop did. I think Troy has sneakily, under the radar, one of the toughest defensive fronts in the Sun Belt. Look, what happened last week in Clemson was due to Clemson's offensive line issues and stuff. I'm not going to put that all on Troy's defensive front, but I think Troy might be a really tough defense to run the football on. And so far, Memphis has been doing pretty much nothing but running. And I don't think Brendan Lewis can fill Hennigan's shoes in terms of a thrower. Up to this point, we haven't seen that tested. I think we're going to see it tested here. My pick is Troy. Obviously, if you wanted to bet this one, you should have got a +7 early in the week. And I was looking at it, couldn't pull the trigger on it. Looking back, obviously, I wish I did. But honestly, I above a field goal, it would still be Troy. I think Troy's very much live in this game. I think this Troy team's pretty good. And Scoop was making fun of Goose Crowder before. Man, he's not bad. Goose Crowder can spin it, man. I think Troy's live. Anything above a field goal is Troy for me. Mac?
Another one I'm going to buy the dip here. Give me Memphis. I think Memphis is more talented. And I know it's a back-to-back road spot. The spot's not great, but I think getting them close to a field goal here, I think that they're significantly the better roster here. So I'll take Silverfield and company, and I guess I'll hold my nose here because this line does stink. I mean, for Troy to be this short as a home dog, and the line to be plummeting, 3-4 points, I'll buy the other way. Give me Memphis.
Man, Troy's strong. Scoop, you're with me, right?
Yeah, I got this at 5.5, so it wasn't great. But speaking of, this game, this is a tough time. I mean, the Trojans are tough. I'm taking them at home here. It gave Clemson a fight defensively. We said in our preview, like you just said, Troy has definitely improved. The highest recruiting class in the Sun Belt Conference. Their defense is something usually you can rely on. I think the defensive line is loaded. They're going to give the Sun Belt problems all year. I mean, Memphis can beat Georgia State. Sure, Georgia State looks absolutely awful again this year. But again, I'm not trusting in Brendan Lewis. I don't think he's a good quarterback. It's going to show here. This Troy line shut down Clemson last week. Making Brendan Lewis throw the ball is not a recipe for success. This Memphis team has played Georgia State, who I said look historically bad, and like Chattanooga. So going into the vet for an out-of-conference game is going to be harder than you think. Crowder isn't going to be throwing 3 interceptions here. Ground game is going to get moving. I know Memphis was 102nd in defensive efficiency last year. Now you have a ton of new pieces going into one of their hardest games away. I like Troy in this spot. I think they could win outright.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And another one of those sandwich look ahead spots or whatever you want to call it for Auburn. Big game on deck. Davenport, the quarterback for South Alabama, really hasn't been tested at all yet, and he's definitely going to be tested here. So South Alabama is most likely not going to be able to run the ball on Auburn. This is where I want to go with this one. I want to go under. The reason I didn't play it is, number one, both these teams have weirdly been playing a fast pace so far this year in terms of seconds between snaps. These teams are 17th and 33rd. So, they're both been running kind of fast paces. Don't want to be holding it under for that. And also, South Alabama's got injuries on the defense. They're missing their best linebacker there. Well, actually, he's listed as questionable, Blaine Merrick. So maybe he plays. I don't know. But they're also could be missing a safety. So 2 of the key tacklers for South Alabama might not be playing in this game. That and the fast pace is going to keep me off of it. But the reason I like the under is, man, with Auburn's got a big game on deck. What's the point of running Auburn's got a badass offensive line. They're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. Why not come out and run a conservative game plan? You're going to win this game. All you have to do is not hand the ball off. Jackson Arnold runs it. Keep it between the tackles. Auburn can win this game pitching fastballs down the middle. So that's what I expect them to do with the big game on deck. And like I said, I don't expect South Alabama's offense to do much here in Auburn. So under, but because of the injuries to the South Alabama defense and the speed these two teams have been playing, I ended up not pulling the trigger. Under for me. Mac?
I'm on South Alabama. Applewhite and company, like you said, they've been chippy as a dog over the last couple of years. And Auburn, I'm going to fade Oklahoma. I'm going to fade Oregon. I'm going to fade all these teams in week 3 with the look ahead to conference play on deck, these bigger games, coming off big wins last week. So Auburn looked impressive against Baylor, yes, but I still have my questions about that defense. So give me South Alabama to stay within this number. I think Auburn wins by 17.
Scoop?
Either I'm going 36-0 or Max going 36-0 because we have complete opposites so far. I think this is a different Auburn. This team's absolutely loaded. I said Florida can be a top team in the SEC before that South Florida game. That was a good call there, but I think Auburn can be a top team in the SEC. I like South Alabama. Almost completed the comeback against Tulane last week. I think Auburn's going to run all over South Alabama. They gave up 241 to Tulane. Should be a solid 300 here for Auburn. I'm not a big Jackson Arnold fan by any means, but he can definitely pick apart this defense. The defense of South Alabama, while they didn't do badly last year, they lost their whole secondary in addition to their D-line. I think Auburn's going to put up 50 in this one. And, I mean, on the other side, Auburn held Baylor to 24. Their pass defense, I know, was abysmal that game, but South Alabama doesn't have a run game. Bishop Davenport has been good this year, but no run game. Auburn's secondary isn't giving up 400 yards to Davenport. I think Auburn scores on almost every possession here. I think this is the year they prove their back. So,
all right, let's move on to the next game. Louisiana, Missouri. And speaking of those look-ahead spots, Missouri's got a big one on deck. I was actually close to betting the big plus number here with the Cajuns. Mac, you with me?
Yeah, another look-ahead spot. Missouri, I can't believe they covered that game last week with that touchdown against Kansas. But yeah, I mean, SEC on deck, Louisiana. This is a proud program. I mean, Billy Napier, everybody wants to fire him at Florida. He got the Florida job because he was really, really good at Louisiana. So give me the points here. 4 touchdowns too much to lay against the Cajuns.
Yeah, it's ugly because Louisiana looks really bad. Remember, Walker Howard is out, their quarterback. And so far, the passing attack has not been there. And this is a team that's reliant on their passing attack. So as far as describing a path to it, it's tough. But this is a big number to lay with Missouri. It was sandwiched in between the border war and the I keep forgetting, South Carolina game is on deck. Sandwiched between those two, man, I'm not even convinced Missouri is that good. So yeah, it would be Louisiana for me if I get the graphics up. Scoop?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Louisiana too. I think Louisiana has kind of a running game. It'll keep pressuring that running game until it kind of gives up. But I mean, I think they can definitely run on Missouri. I mean, as good as Missouri's been, they've been hit with a bunch of penalties. They're pretty undisciplined right now, and I know their passing offense has been great, but I think that Louisiana is going to control a little bit of time of possession here on the offensive end. I know they don't have a quarterback, so they're definitely going to run the ball. And I feel like you guys said, it's kind of like a sandwich spot here for Missouri. I don't know if they're that great yet with Pribula. I don't know how that's going to go, but yeah, I like Louisiana here. It's a lot of points.
The Louisiana graphics aren't up, but we're all on Louisiana. The community is on Mizzou, though.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
how the community last week.
They got smoked 11-21 for the community.
Yeah, hate to see.
They won. The tie.
Man, UConn last week. I still can't believe Syracuse covered that game. I turned the game off. And then not only did Syracuse come back and tie it, but then they took the lead. Then UConn came back and tied it, and then Syracuse ended up covering the -6.5. I don't know how Syracuse wins and covers that game. UConn was probably the stronger team. But so originally when I first looked at this game, like, oh, UConn's going to bounce back and kill them. That was my original thought. I was looking into Delaware. Haven't watched a ton of Delaware, and as you guys know, I'm not the biggest FCS guy. So I'm kind of just learning about Delaware now. That backup quarterback they got is kind of slinging it around the field right now. His name's Mini Cucci. It's his actual name. And their starting quarterback got hurt like 5 minutes into the opener. He got hurt right away. The backup quarterback comes in. Delaware's moving the ball. They just went on the road to Boulder and played Colorado. They were driving the ball in that game. I mean, they turned the ball over on downs in Colorado territory a couple times. They fumbled in Colorado territory, but they only finished the game with 7 points. They were moving the ball on Colorado. So I'm a little hesitant. My initial, when I first looked at this game, was UConn, and now that it's under 10, it would be UConn, but I didn't end up betting it because Delaware might be a sneaky offense. Honestly, might be the pick. I'm putting UConn up. I'm sticking to my guns here. That's what I originally thought, but I'm hesitant to actually bet it. Mac or Scoop, go ahead.
I'm taking UConn. The team I was high on before the season started, they really fell apart against that Syracuse. They had that game, and most importantly, their defense held up the majority of that game. That was their weakness of this team before the year started. If they shut down Syracuse most of the game, they're going to shut down Delaware. I do like Delaware. This just isn't a good matchup. I don't think UConn's offense is going to have the kind of game that they had against Central Connecticut week 1. Vinny Cucci did well last week against Colorado, but couldn't get in the end zone. 3 turnovers didn't help. And Colorado's a disaster, as you've kind of seen. But this team's still brand new to the FBS, and putting up 400 yards against Colorado doesn't really do much for me. I mean, believe it or not, like Kyle said, Delaware's kind of a complete team. I mean, there's a lot of continuity from last year to this team, but it's still a step up in competition than playing Villanova or Richmond. I think they'll actually compete well with the Conference USA team, but I think UConn's kind of a complete team. Both sides of the ball should be able to handle Delaware, so I'm on UConn.
Yeah, I put UConn up for me too. Mac, you with us?
No, I'm on my Blue Hens, man. The home dog here. Ryan Carty's a really good coach, and I love the FCS, and they were a dominant program at that level. Joe Flacco played there, and they've had NFL guys go through that program. So, here's my worry with UConn. I'm high on UConn for the season, but did that loss turn into 2 losses potentially last week? That was a devastating loss, the way that they dominated Syracuse. And for them to blow that game the way they did, I think this is a sleepy spot. Early kick. Give me Delaware and the points here. I think this could be a hard game for UConn.
I got to say, I thought you guys were way over the top, you and Colby, on the pregame show, or the preseason show. We were talking about UConn. You're like, I believe you said this team could go 12-0. And I was like,
they could. If they won that game, they could be 12.
They could go 12-0. They could also go 4-8. There's a lot of also really losable games.
You just don't know what that defense is going to be at all yet.
Yeah, they lost everybody. The UConn program as a whole is on the come up, but this year, losing all the pieces on the defense, they're also still missing McLean, who's their CB1, their main corner. I don't think he's back yet, so they're not even healthy. In addition to losing a lot of pieces on the defense. That being said, I mean, UConn is on the come up. That's going to be a pretty cool program to watch over the next few years. All right, Georgia, Tennessee. We can spend an extra minute on this one. I mean, I'm a little worried that I'm yet to hear anybody say they like Tennessee at this number. The only people I've talked to that are on Tennessee have like +6.5s and +7s. At the 3.5, 4 number, I'm yet to hear anybody say they like Tennessee. I do have a bet on this game. It's the under. I said I would pick Georgia at the 3.5. Now is it at 4? Oh, you can still get 3.5s. So my pick for the show is the under, and I actually have this bet. I'm a little hesitant. I think Georgia should kill them like they always do, but I'm picking under for the show. Mac?
I'm on the dogs, man. Love me some Kirby Smart. I just think it's a bad matchup for Tennessee. The veer and shoot, and I just think Georgia's physicality, Georgia's defense really bothers Tennessee for whatever reason. Kirby's won this game double digits the last 7-8 years. I think they roll again here. Go Dogs.
Scoop?
I am taking Tennessee. I know this opened up to 7.5, like you said, but I know Georgia's won 8 straight. Kirby Smart has their number, and like Mac just said, they won every single one of those games by 14 or more. So I know it's definitely. I was saying on Monday, thank God they got rid of Nico. You saw Nico. Nico, can you imagine? Can you just tell me Nico sucks?
Yeah, how did UCLA do?
How did they do well? Yeah.
We got to wait till the season rolls out.
Okay, got you. So
hold on.
UCLA is terrible.
No, if Aguilar also sucks, I'm still right.
Aguilar is going to sling it this game.
In order for me to be wrong, Aguilar has to be better this year.
He's still better.
You can't lose to New Mexico by 3 touchdowns at home.
No. Nico looks terrible right now. I would think that's more of a reflection of UCLA might be the worst Power 4 team. That defense is terrible. But in order for me to be wrong, Tennessee has to be better with Nico, a bit better with Aguilar. Keep in mind, Tennessee went 10-2 last year.
Yeah, not by him, but yeah, I mean,
listen, he was all right.
I am concerned about Tennessee's defense a little bit. I mean, UConn pretty much, like you just said, shut down Syracuse late. I don't know what kind of offense Georgia actually has. Georgia beat up on Marshall, and then they did struggle against Austin Peay, who's awesome, by the way. Austin Peay is going to be the good this year. And I saw somewhere this is, like you just said, or someone said, that this is the earliest they played each other in more than a decade. I think that benefits Tennessee. Georgia's offense hasn't looked great this so far. I know Stockton could probably get better, but this Tennessee offense is better than last year with Aguilar. So I know 4 is rough. You can get 3.5 or 4, depending on which side you want to choose right now. But Yeah, I know the track record against Tennessee is rough, but I'm gonna take the Vols at home.
Next one, I told everyone I would take the Beavers at 24. It's still sitting at 23.5. Maybe I should just take them. This is just the ultimate, man. Texas Tech blowing teams out. It's Kent State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Come on. Oregon State is not a good football team compared to Kent State. I mean, they're the Eagles. Kent State is not an FBS team, and Arkansas Pine Bluff is also not an FBS team. So I don't think it's really being factored in here how big of a jump in talent Oregon State is from those two teams, even though Oregon State is not even good. Playing 23 points, we've yet to see Texas Tech even play like a decent opponent. I will say the way Texas Tech has played the first two games, and I said this in the video I uploaded last night, I'm a little worried that they seem to be trying to blow teams out, and I could see this being like a 17-point game, and I'm sitting pretty with this bet, and Texas Tech gets the ball with 3 minutes left and is throwing it still. Like, I could see that. They just seem like they're on some dirtbag shit right now. So Oregon State plus 23. I said I would bet it at 24. I never saw it. So I'm close to betting this. I honestly might. Scoop, you with me?
I have the team total over for Texas Tech. It's at 41.5. Oregon State's a joke. Back-to-back losses at Corvallis, going on the road to Texas Tech, and then next week go to Oregon. But their defense just hasn't been able to do anything. 34 to Cal and 36 to Fresno, both at home. I mean, Texas Tech's offense should absolutely steamroll Oregon State. I left the team total over 41.5. I don't really want to bet the spread. Because, Malik Murphy scares me. He's definitely capable as much as he struggled with some turnovers. He still threw for 371 and 4 touchdowns against Fresno. Oregon State is just the bottom 30 in rush defense, bottom 15 in scoring defense, the two mediocre offenses. And while that pass defense is in the middle of the pack, Texas Tech just destroyed two teams offensively. I know, like Kyle said, they're two terrible teams, but I think Oregon State's defense might be comparable to Kent State right now, honestly. If Cal and Fresno can put 34...
that's insane.
If Cal and Fresno can put up 34 in Corvallis, Texas Tech with Baron Morton, with 3 great running backs, I don't see how the defense contains them. I think Texas Tech goes over the 41.5.
Mac, true or false, Kent State would be a top 25 FCS team? I don't think so. Yeah, false. That's
Oregon State's defense
they might be a bottom 25 team in the FCS. They're horrible. I'm on the Beavs, man. I'm with you, Kyle. I just like you said, Texas Tech has played Cupcake City so far. Oregon State back against the wall, 0-2. I couldn't believe the way they lost that game to Fresno with that crazy punt play where the guy kicked it like it was a soccer ball. Give me the points here. Fox Hill spot. And I'm going to fade Texas Tech. They haven't played anybody, and they have Utah next week on Big Noon Kickoff.
Let's go. Yep. I think I might bet this. And honestly, I know that I've been passing a lot. We've got some bets coming up. I like this one. I might bet this, and I like the next one too. Kind of the same idea. Look, USC isn't quite as guilty as Texas Tech is. I mean, they played Missouri State and Georgia Southern. That's certainly not Kent State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Neither of those teams are good, but they're a step up from Kent State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. So USC is not quite as guilty as Texas Tech is, but they are guilty of running up the score against inferior opponents. They go on the road in Purdue, and I got to say, I'm a guy who's willing to admit when my take was wrong. I was waving the Purdue fired Ryan Walters too soon flag. I was like, Ryan Walters never got a fair shot. This team clearly looks a little bit different under Odom. I'm willing to admit I think Odom might be a better head coach than Ryan Walters, even though I'm a Ryan Walters guy. Purdue's playing some really solid defense. They haven't played anybody yet, but we didn't see – Ryan Walters is supposed to be a tough defensive-minded coach. We didn't see much tough defense during his tenure. In comes Barry Odom, and all of a sudden Purdue's playing some tough defense early. And the real reason that I'm considering betting Purdue here, and I kind of like it, is – guys, you remember last year, where did USC struggle most last year? Their true road Big Ten games. Because remember, they're new in the Big Ten. This is a new experience for them. Traveling to the middle of the country to play conference games, that's new for USC. They did it 3 times last year. At Minnesota, at Maryland, at Michigan. They were lost. They were favored by more than a field goal in all 3. So USC looked terrible in their road Big Ten games. Yes, I know it's Purdue, but It's a road Big Ten game. And I'm not talking about at Washington. I'm talking about a real Big Ten game, like at Purdue. I think we're going to see USC's offense look completely different in this one than we saw in the first two. I think Odom's defense is going to give him problems. I think this is a close game. So this is another one that I kind of like this one. Are you with me, Mac?
Yes. Oh, I'm all over Purdue. And it feels square to just say, oh, I'm going to fade the team coming from the West Coast to with the time zone change. But they have struggled, and vice versa. The teams going out west have struggled, and so I like Odom. I think he's a good coach. I think they're buttoned up. I think that they're going to compete in this game. I don't think they're going to win, but I'm not going to lay 3 touchdowns with USC hitting the road in Big Ten play. I haven't seen it from Lincoln Riley and company. So give me Purdue.
This might be like one of your first half money lines.
Yeah, this is I think Purdue's going to hang in this thing, man. Odom's a good coach.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was defending Walters. It's clearly they made the right decision. They look a lot tougher. Yeah. Well, hopefully Walters kills it as the DC with Jed Fish out there. Scoop?
I'm taking Purdue. I know they beat up 2 bad teams. Last week they didn't even look great against Southern Illinois. Those Salukis, but like you guys said, USC's first road game of the year. It's not like USC played great competition either. They played Missouri State and Georgia Southern. None of those teams have played really anyone going into this one. Opening Big Ten game for both. I like Barry Odom to keep this one close. I know Mayava's looked good in his 2 games, sure, but Purdue obviously has a better defense than those 2, which sure is wild to say when allowing 202 yards through the air against an FCS team, but. I mean, Purdue had 2 weeks to gel with their new transfers. This whole Purdue is basically a transfer portal team. It's not like USC's defense played great against Georgia Southern if you watch that game. I mean, they played, they got to 22 points. They were sloppy on a lot of their defensive plays. I get the argument on the other side. Purdue was 0-3 against the spread, hosting ranked teams last year. They didn't score 10 points in any of those games. But this is a completely new team with a new coach. Obviously, they don't have the same skill position players as USC. I get all that, but Barry Odom's going to have this team playing hard defensively, and USC going cross-country to a Big Ten school. I think that they're going to start off a bit slow, so I like Purdue.
I like Wags is saying he's on the under 59.5. I like that too, the under 59.5. And I like Nostradamus' comments. He says, here's my lazy man's cap. Odom's a good coach, and USC sometimes struggles when heading east. Purdue plus 21. Honestly, not that far off from mine.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yep. All right. Washington State, North Texas. Matt got me last week. He backed the guys in Pullman. I was pretty big on San Diego State too. It was one of my favorite bets of the week. It wasn't even close.
That was a letdown for San Diego.
Dude, Denagle might not be good. That was some bad quarterback play. I still will defend Sean Lewis, but that was not a good showing for San Diego State. And you know what? My entire Saturday came down to that. I was having a winning day, and all I needed was that game, and I had a winning day, and losing that game put me just below 0. So because of that game, I just finished with a losing day. But anyway, here we are, Washington State again. I'm all over North Texas here. Got a really good number, too. I still would take it at 5.5. I would take this anything below a touchdown. Washington State's not good, and I'm not going to let what happened last week shake me of that belief. This is not a good team. San Diego State played terrible. They were at home in Pullman. Now they go on the road to North Texas, a team that's very undervalued. Keep in mind, last week, if you just at a first glance, it looks like North Texas and Western Michigan played a close game. Dude, North Texas dominated that game. It was like 6.6 yards per play to 4.4 yards per play. The fact that game went to overtime is crazy. North Texas was far superior Western Michigan. Now they're back home. Washington State doesn't come out here that often, all the way down to Texas. I think North Texas wins this going away. They have a greatly improved defense with Skylar Cassidy. I like North Texas here. Scoop?
Yeah, like you said, speaking of letdowns, San Diego State, man, I'm glad I got massive CLV on that game. I also got massive CLV on the North Texas under. Both were losses. CLV is a myth. No, I mean, Washington State controlled the clock. Their defense played awesome. I'm on the under in this one. I love this under, actually. I mean, Washington State's offense still isn't that impressive. It didn't work for me last week, but going under in this one, North Texas defense actually didn't play that badly last game. Western Michigan scored 30, but they held what little pass game they had down. The reason the Broncos were in that game is, I mean, third down conversions, they were 9 for 18. The defense just couldn't get off the field on third down. Same really for Washington State. I mean, Washington State under 400 yards last game against San Diego State. they're controlling the clock. I mean, Washington State. So their defense is the bright spot of that game. I think it's what Washington State's that's what their team's gonna be as a defensive team. I like Messmaker and North Texas offense, but like Kyle said, I mean, both defenses are better than people think on this one. I think both teams' defensive efficiency right now in their top 50. There's no way I trust Washington State's offense yet away from home in North Texas, but I think Washington State should get enough stops defensively with that great secondary. So I love the under in this one.
Mac, you on the Mean Green?
Yeah, I'm on the Mean Green. Initially, I wanted to take my Cougs, but the more and more I thought about it, it's a bad spot. I mean, they played out of their minds last weekend. That was a get-up spot against San Diego State at home, game they had to have. North Texas, man, I've been impressed with them. They had a letdown spot last week. They escaped. But I think that offense is really good. So, yeah, give me the Mean Green down there in Texas here.
By the way, right after this game, Washington State flies back to Pullman Apple Cup next week. So
yeah,
one of the biggest.
That's their Super Bowl.
Yeah, remember, they're not really in a conference. So that literally is their Super Bowl next week.
Yeah.
SMU Missouri State.
This game is weird.
I remember you guys talking about this one on your show, but I actually can't even remember what you said. I have no opinion on this game. I don't know anything about Missouri State. So
this is their first FBS home game.
Okay.
So they transitioned from the FCS to the FBS. I mean, what a home opener! You get a team that was in the college football playoff last year coming in there. Give me the points in Springfield, Missouri, baby. This could be a first half money line. There's a lot of sleepy spots here for some of these power fours going on the road here. Yeah, give me the points. I think Missouri State, they're coming off the win against Marshall. I think they're better than people realize.
Wow, Missouri State plus 28. That looks like you could get. Scoop, do you agree with that?
I am going with the over in this one. I think SMU is going to put up a bunch of points, and I mean the total is 28, so they're expecting Missouri State to put up points. I mean, if the total's at 60, so I agree with Mac. I think they definitely can put up points here. I think both sides, obviously SMU can. I mean, they're going to move it obviously against Missouri State, but I think Missouri State's kind of going to get some points here themselves. So I like the over here. I think both offenses should be pretty well here.
I don't know. I don't really think
pick a side.
I don't want to take the over. I want to take a side. I'll go with Matt. I don't think SMU's nearly as good as they were last year. So I'll take the plus 28. I want to be clear. I don't know anything about Missouri State. They're a brand new FBS team, and I don't really follow the FCS that closely. So Missouri State and Delaware, you're going to hear me passing for at least the first couple months of the season because I don't know shit. I couldn't tell you one thing about Missouri State. So I'll tail Mac on that pick.
SMU's defense isn't going to be that great.
That's what I agree. They're not.
That's who I'm fading. I saw that defense, and they're off a double overtime game.
Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for the Baylor should have won that game. They were by far the better team. I remember thinking, I can't believe Baylor's losing that game. Baylor kept handing SMU gifts, and they still won on the road. So yeah, I don't think SMU's nearly as good as they were last week. But we're in Morgantown. Max on the ground. What's the energy like out there?
Oh yeah, we're ready to rock and roll, baby. We never went to sleep last night, so yeah.
I'm shocked.
Hey, you guys take it away. I'll fit it. This line is disrespectful. This is insulting to me. With that, I can't believe I got to share a screen with that stupid 4-letter word over there.
Yeah, I'm on West Virginia. I got worse to the number. It's one of those where if you break out the spreadsheet and look at the returning pieces, look at the production. Okay, maybe I see how you get to Pitt minus a touchdown. I could see it. But this is a historic rivalry. This place is going to be going crazy. Honestly, I'm sure Mac is about to tell you, look, Rich Rod came back to West Virginia. I don't know if there's crazy expectations for this season. There's one game they won. It's this. This is the one they won. This is it. This is a Super Bowl for West Virginia. As far as the rest of the season, I think West Virginia is just excited about the future. Rather than expecting some crazy results this year. They want one game. This is it. This place is going to be going crazy. A bunch of people that look like Mac are going to be out there. If you go by the teams that are on the field, I see how you get to Pitt by a touchdown on the road. But if you take a look at this historic rivalry, the fact that they're laying a touchdown on the road is kind of crazy. I bet you Rich Rod's got some tricks up his sleeve for this one. This is the game of the day. I bet West Virginia plus 6.5. I also have a bet on the money line. I'm on the Mountaineers. Scoop, you with me?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I said that. I mean, obviously, I said that Pitt was better on both sides of the ball. I get that. I mean, they definitely are. I mean, but the rivalry. I mean, Rich Rod knows the matchup. Yeah, and plus, I mean, these rivalries, I got to pick the underdog over seven. I mean, over a touchdown is wild. The last time they got blown out at home was 1991 in this rivalry. Last 11 times they played in Morgantown, they lost by 3 times, and all 3 were less than a touchdown. I don't feel like this is going to be. I mean, listen. On paper, sure, Pitt should win this game pretty handily if you're looking at like just statistic-wise or just players on the field. But yeah, I don't see laying 7.5 on the road in Morgantown's a solid bet. And I know Rich Rod needs his revenge, like I said Monday, that the 13-9 matchup. So yeah, I like Washington. I mean, I like West Virginia here.
Yeah, so you can see in the comments that Kyle's crazy. West Virginia's lost their best players. Dude, this isn't about
I mean,
players.
I know there's no Jaheim White, there's no Jaden Bray, but it's like, I don't care. Like,
they've got a linebacker that might not play too. Yeah, they're injured. It's not about the players, though.
Yeah,
this
really
place is going to be a crime. People are going to get hurt in this place today.
Hey, those people never been to Morgantown for the brawl. I don't care who's playing quarterback. Do your job, run the team. I don't care who's blocking. Do your job, block till the whistle. Whoever's playing running back, I don't care. Run and hit the hole hard. This is the brawl, man. Pitt wants to play 7-on-7. We're going to drag it in the mud today. Fist fight, baby. Backyard brawl. Rich Rod's waited for this game for 18 years. This is 18 years he's had to sit on the worst loss of his coaching career. So, yeah. I don't even need – I see 7.5. I don't need 7.5. Money line.
I think it's like
West Virginia outright. Eat shit, Pitt. Mountaineers by 1 million. Let's go.
I'm with you. Someone said in the comments, Morgantown is sketchy as fuck.
That's why you take West Virginia.
You think I'm crazy? There's 60,000 of me in that joint today, baby. We're ready to burn down them couches.
I had a friend that went to West Virginia. I visited him, so I have been to Morgantown once. There was a dude. Literally, we went out the night before. Then we woke up and we were going to get breakfast or something. There was a dude literally sleeping on the sidewalk, like, and people just walking by like that was regular as shit. I was like, "What country am I in, dude?" It's a different breed of person out there.
These Pitt Panthers don't know what they're walking into today, baby. This place is. I mean, I see it right there. This place is on fire.
Yeah, the people, him and his roommates, they didn't even stop talking as we walked by. And it wasn't a homeless person. It was literally just a drunk, like someone just like really was raging and just slept there. And we were
everybody's got a Morgantown story. Everybody's
dude.
got one Morgantown experience.
So wait, if West Virginia wins, are you storming the field or?
No, because we expect to win.
Okay.
Hold on. You're not storming the field?
I mean, if people start storming,
he's taking the goalpost. He's running in the river.
Reason I'm saying that is because on the college experience, you guys are pro storming the field. You make a point to say that all the time.
If we were playing a real program, I would storm the field. But I mean, when we expect to win because that's what we do against those cowards from the north. We just expect to win. They don't beat us in Morgantown. They're like Scoop said, they haven't covered that -7 since 1991. Hey, they're not tough enough to win in Morgantown. Come get some Pitt.
I can't wait. I'm like excited to watch this game.
Too, dude. It's gonna be electric.
This is college football. This rivalry is literally college football. It's the best.
It's either going to be like, this is awesome, we're winning a bet, or Scoop's going to text me and be like, I'm scared to text Mac right now.
Yeah.
hey, well, one thing is, anybody that wants to tweet at me or text me, I will not respond till 7 or 8 o'clock because there is no service at Mountaineer Field.
The next day.
There's no service at Mountaineer Field.
That's
because
crazy.
the infrastructure.
This next one, I'm just putting over up. This is a weird spot for Matt Campbell. Look, I think I said this a number of times. I had Iowa State ranked number 7 coming in. I was big on this Iowa State team, and so far it's looking like I have no reason to doubt that. But laying more than 3 touchdowns against an Arkansas State team that has a quarterback, Rayner can play. We kind of forgot. He was Sun Belt Freshman of the Year a couple years back, and Arkansas State with Butch Jones, they've had some really bad defenses. I do think that program's on the come up. I think they made the correct hire at defensive coordinator. They brought in Nate Drayling. So I kind of like Arkansas State. I don't know if it really happens overnight. I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa State has to work a little bit for this one, though. So I'll put over, you know what? I'll put Arkansas State plus the points up as my pick for the show. But I really don't know.
I took a team total again. Arkansas State over 16.5. I mean, Arkansas State, I guess that first meeting with Arkansas didn't go that well. Did not expect Butch Jones to get smacked, but I could have expected that. Listen, only 20% of their defense returned from last year, 130th in the country. Like you said, Nate Drilling can only do so much going into Arkansas there. But Iowa State coming to Arkansas State, that's pretty cool. Iowa State's due for a slip-up type of game. I mean, they played in Ireland, just played 2 at home. Now they're going to play a Sun Belt team before a bye. They have a bye next week. I know players are probably looking forward to that. But listen, there's only like 3 teams that have played their 4th game already. This is their 4th game. As I said in college basketball, they're probably tired. I mean, Arkansas State is going to test them here offensively. Their defense is way better than their defense is. There usually is. I mean, they put up 14 in War Memorial. And that was at halftime, and they were actually 53% on third down conversion. So I think they'll be able to move the ball here at home. I just don't trust that defense whatsoever. So
what's
I'm
the number?
On 16.5.
It's only 16.5.
Yeah,
I think they get over that too. Mac, any opinion on this one?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go against our boy, man, Matt Campbell. This is a tough spot, man. You think about it, 4 games in 4 weeks. They went to Ireland, they won that Farmageddon emotional game. Then they come back, they blow the doors off South Dakota. Then they play Cy-Hawk last week, and now they got to go to Arkansas State, Jonesboro. I'm all over Arkansas State. This is another first half money line for me, 7-1.
Yeah, I will give you this one. I agree with. I disagreed with your opinions up to this point, even though I bet Iowa at the plus 3.5. I had middled that one.
That was a winner.
Yeah,
the game's always a field goal game.
Yep, and Iowa State has Arizona on deck, so like this game. Not that Arizona's necessarily. That's a cool one. That's a conference game. So
Arizona's 3-0. That was a big win for the old Wildcats last night.
Dude, Kansas State's offense. What
dumpster fire.
Dude, go Arizona.
I said that on the video I uploaded. I was like, guys, I think we need to accept that Kansas State's offense might not be that good. I didn't know that they were that bad. That was really terrible. Bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Avery Johnson just took such a step back. I don't even understand it, really.
Looking back, it's crazy that they chose. Yeah, well, maybe that could be it. They chose him over Will Howard. Looking back, it's like wild. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but like looking back, it's crazy. Yeah. Another South Florida game, another game where no one's respecting Todd Orlando in this defense. This is a good defense, guys. I don't know how else to phrase it. Now, I will say, offensively, I think it's kind of getting blown out of proportion. South Florida's 2-0. Byron Brown's healthy. The offense hasn't been that explosive. They made some plays at the end to beat Florida. But the offense has kind of been stagnant. They make a couple plays here and there, but they haven't been consistently moving the ball. And I think Miami's defensive front is a step up from what they were last year. With the way they handled Notre Dame in that opener was extremely impressive. So I'm big on this Miami team. I'm big on the Miami defensive front. The offense, maybe not quite as explosive as the Cam Ward version, but it looks pretty good. We'll find out as the season progresses. I still think this South Florida defense is good enough to slow it down. I like you know what? I'm putting the under up because I'm trying to win the show, and that would be my favorite pick. But I also lean at 17.5. I lean the Bulls as well. No one respects this team. I think Max on Miami. I watched.
Yeah, you know I like to go against the trendy dog. Listen, I took South Florida against Boise. I did fade them last week, and I ate complete shit. I mean, shout out to South Florida for winning at the Swamp. That was fantastic. But I think this is a tough spot, man. They're got to go to Miami, back-to-back road spot. I think the U's actually pretty damn good. They're better in the trenches this year. They're better defensively. So I'll lay the points with the Hurricanes here.
Scoop.
Yeah, twice now I bet against South Florida. I took Boise, took Florida. So third time's the charm. I'm taking Miami.
Oh my God!
I think everyone is taking. Well, everyone earlier in the week was taking South Florida. I was like 95% of the money if you're into that.
Yeah.
I'm not a split person whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, people see 17 taking South Florida, only team that beat 2 ranked teams to start the season. I think that's awesome scheduling out of conference. But beating a third straight ranked team, I feel like one that's better than both is not going to be easy. 17 is a lot of points, but I think Miami's defense at home is going to shut South Florida's offense just down. I mean, South Florida has to win this game defensively. It's what they did the first 2 weeks. Brown had decent games the first 2 weeks, but now going to Miami, one who relatively had a bye, 45-3 against Bethune. So I think they got to work the kinks out in that Notre Dame game. Before the season started, I said I don't see a drop-off for Miami. I think Matt kind of did, right? I think he didn't think they were going to be that great. Think you're going to take a step back? Is that what you?
Yeah. I'm not a big Miami guy, but
you picked them against Notre Dame.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate Cristobal, and I keep picking him.
I just don't see South Florida moving the ball here. I think I agree with Kyle. I think this is to be a low scoring. 56.5 seems like a lot for two defenses who have really proved themselves in 2 games. So I would bet Miami. I would bet the under. I mean, if Golish and Todd Orlando beats me 3 weeks in a row, then they're running the table. They're going to be 12-0. So.
All right, let's move on to a game I have no interest in picking. I probably should have cut this one from the show. Liberty Bowling Green. What a nothing game here. I don't know. I think Bowling Green is a shell of what they were last year. But Liberty, Mac, have you condemned Jamie Chadwell yet, or are you still pumping him up on the show?
Listen, he better win this one. I tell you what, or he's dethroned from my coaches.
How many chances are you going to give this guy?
I tell you what, man, that was underwhelming last week. I'll take the L on Chadwell right now, just like you'll take the L on that bum ass Nico guy out of UCLA. But I'm laying it with Liberty. Liberty, we're going back to the well, baby. Give me the Flames here. I think it's a get up spot back against the wall. They're so much more talented than Bowling Green. It's now or never for Liberty.
Yeah, they're so much more talented, and I'm going to pick them on the show. I bet them last week. They got the Jacksonville State ran for like 350 yards on them. Dude, I think it's getting to the point where we might have to be like, okay, Jamie Chadwell might not be a good coach, and I know that's blasphemous to say. He has a loaded team. He had a loaded team last year, didn't really underachieved. He's got a loaded team again this year, underachieving. I'll pick Liberty, but this game, I won't watch one snap of this game. Scoop.
Yeah, Liberty's such a bad team, and so is Bowling Green. I don't really know why I gave you this game to put on the show. Yeah, so how does it schedule? I do. I mean, I'm sorry, but I probably put this on because it was under a touchdown to a bad Bowling Green team. Listen, Liberty. I'm taking the under here. I put the under here. Liberty under a touchdown to a bad Jacksonville State. I think they're bad Jacksonville State. I don't know. Liberty's shown they can't move the ball whatsoever. That main game they didn't until the 4th. That Jacksonville State game, same. I mean, maybe I would take a first half under 2, but Liberty scored 35 points in the 4th quarter this year, 17 in every other quarter combined. Their defense is just so bad right now. Like Kyle just said, 338 in the ground, got torched by Jacksonville State. But Bowling Green's offense and defense have been decent. These two teams just start off so slow. I mean, I think the under first half would be good at 24.5 too. Bowling Green has 21st points in 2 games, and Liberty has 17 in 2 games. So, I get your guys' argument. I want to take Liberty under a touchdown because on paper they're just such a way better team. But the way they've looked in 2 games, I'm not touching that spread whatsoever.
Yeah, everything's doing Bowling Green. It's going to take Eddie George some time. That being said, Jamie Chadwell is looking like he has a terrible team there. I don't know how. This is you don't want to know why this line is 9.5 because college football fans have a hard-on for Jeff Choate.
My guy. I love Jeff Choate.
The guilty. The guy on the screen is guilty. They talk about this guy like he was sent from the Lord. College football's gift. I bet this game. I don't know why, but I did. Yeah. You on Nevada?
I'm on Middle Tennessee.
Me too, man. What is this
they
line?
They lost to FCS powerhouse Austin Peay, and then decent half against the Badgers, then got rocked. I know you're a bad team when you're getting 9.5 from Nevada. I guess I'm crazy, but Middle Tennessee, I don't see it being this bad. I know they were dead last in defensive efficiency last year. I see that hasn't improved that much, but I mean, well, the first half against Wisconsin they did, but their defensive line isn't as bad as people think. They can stop the run. Take out that one run by Pekahuna from Wisconsin, which the end around. They held Wisconsin's run game to 3.9 yards per carry. It's the secondary that's an issue. It will be all year. But Nevada's not a good team. They're probably one of the worst in the Mountain West. They got killed by Penn State. They squeaked by a Sacramento State game last week. Purdy's their whole offense, and they can't even throw the ball. So Turner and Rams are going to get carries, but that plays into Middle Tennessee's defense. I'm hyping up a Middle Tennessee defense, which is extremely dumb. But on the other side, Vattiato is he's way better than this. It's the worst he's ever looked. Nevada's defense is pretty terrible. I like Middle Tennessee on both sides of the ball in this game. Yeah, give me Middle Tennessee.
100%. The only reason you're getting this number is because college football heads have a weird thing for Choate. Dead ass, this is Nevada's last winnable game. They're going to lose out after this.
No way.
I think they win this game, obviously, but they're going to lose out after find me another winnable game on that schedule. This team is not good. People think it's good because of the head coach. By the way, Middle Tennessee, third quarter last week in Madison, it was 14-10. They had the ball in Wisconsin territory about to take the lead. They turned it over on downs, but Wisconsin ran the score up on the end. Middle Tennessee was playing them tough last year. This Middle Tennessee, everyone's just staring at that opening blunder against Austin Peay. Man, Nevada almost just got beat by Sacramento State, another strong FCS program. Middle Tennessee, I think they're live.
No. Give me Nevada, baby. Give me a real ball coach. Give me Jeff Choate. I'm fading Derek Mason. This Middle Tennessee team is god-awful. Soft at the line of scrimmage. They got blown out by Austin Peay at home. Yeah, give me the Pack out west in the mountains in Reno, baby. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, see, exactly. You know what he said? He goes, give me a real ball coach. That's it. They just have a thing for Jeff Choate,
baby.
These college football people, they have a thing for Jeff Choate. FAU, FIU. I bet this game, but I don't even want to talk about it. I thought it was going to close at 3. I got FAU -2. Florida Atlantic. I like Kitley, and clearly the offense is coming around after a really ugly opening. I mean, they threw 5 interceptions. I think it was 6 interceptions in the opener against Maryland. The offense started to come around, and it's not really the offense with FAU that I was struggling with. I think FAU's defense might be one of the worst in the country. So even though I don't think FIU is particularly good, at home and under a field goal against a defense they should score whenever. So I'm on FIU, but I want to be clear. This is one of the first bets I place. I kind of regret this one. A couple people have texted me about this, and I was like, dude, if I were you, I don't know if I'd play this right now. So I'm on FIU. I don't even have a graphic for it, to be honest. I'll just type it in. I'm on FIU, but I don't really like this one. Scoop.
Battle of the letters. The Shula Bowl. I mean, since 2017, FAU's on a 7-game winning streak. Lowest margin they won was 18 in those games. I like FAU here. I mean, this line pretty much stayed here. I really do think FIU is the better team. I know they got shut out by Penn State 34-0, but their defense held their own throughout the game. Played pretty well. Played good defense against Allard. They just couldn't stop Allen and Singleton, but they're not going to. And really, I mean, their offense did show some life there. The running game, Kajan Owens and Devontae Lyons saw some running room. I have a soft spot for Keon Jenkins. I think he's way better than people think. Florida Atlantic's defense is just not going to be good this year. I mean, keep in mind, Brett Dewhurst, their new DC, hasn't coached plays this year. I mean, it showed in that Maryland game. Even against Florida A&M, RJ Johnson threw for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns against his team. I like Willie Simmons. I think he's a better coach than Mike McIntyre. And Hewitt has a defense playing decent football through 2 games. So I like FIU. I think they're better.
Mac, you with us on the on FIU?
I took FAU. I think their offense is good. I think they're able to move the ball here. I think they're more explosive. The Maryland game was a little bit misleading because they turned the ball over 6 times. So yeah, give me FAU. I think they're more talented than FIU. I love Simmons. I love the hire, but I don't think they're there yet as a program. Give me the Owls in the Don Shula Bowl.
Yeah, I like I said, this is one of the bets I wish I didn't place, but most of the bets I don't regret placing. Ohio State. I don't know.
Ohio's the best team in the country.
Yeah. So if you don't know, get the joke. Ohio just beat West Virginia last week in what was pretty embarrassing for that offense. We don't have to spend more than 10 seconds on this game. Do you guys have anything?
Give me the points. This is Ohio's Super Bowl to get a shot at the Buckeyes. I like Navarro, man. Navarro he's a college football player, college football quarterback, competes undersized, chip on his shoulder. The Buckeyes are coming off Grambling, man. They haven't played anybody since Texas, so Big Ten on deck. Give me the points with them Bobcats.
Ohio State minus 29.5.
I didn't convince you.
Ohio State minus 29.5.
All right, we're both. Let me put it up for Scoop.
You guys are disrespecting my Bobcats. They're going to go 11-1.
The Bobcats just disrespected you by beating your ass.
Hey, they're a good team. They're better than Pitt. I would lay points with the Bobcats against Pitt.
Ohio's not going to be good this year. That's going to look like a real bad loss in a few weeks.
I disagree. They almost beat Rutgers week 1.
Also not a good team. Arkansas, Ole Miss, over. This was an easy one. I bet this as soon as I saw it. I'd still bet it at the current number.
Simmons is a game time decision, by the way.
I don't care. I don't.
Just that.
I think Arkansas's defense is not good. It's a bad defense masquerading as a good one, and I think Taylor Green's going to score in this Ole Miss defense. Yeah, I bet over as soon as I saw it. Got a good number. I'd still play it at this one, even with Simmons as a game time. I don't even know what is Simmons that much of an upgrade. You know what I mean? He's actually thrown 4. I think he's thrown 4 picks already or something like that. So yeah, I'm on the over here.
I'm on Ole Miss. I said it earlier. I mean, it went down to 6.5 now, which is wild. I mean, Arkansas, I know, looks awesome offensively, defensively. I think, like you said, you got to kind of pump the brakes. I mean, 2 games at home against Alabama A&M and Arkansas State isn't really that exciting. I think Ole Miss at home can really take advantage of the run game. I don't think Arkansas's D-line is that good. Quan Lacey looks like he's going to be running back 1 for Ole Miss. He's going to find some holes here. Arkansas they just haven't played competition yet, and Ole Miss coming off a strong game in Lexington against a better defensive line than this. Ole Miss put up 63 last year in Arkansas. So it's a new offense for Ole Miss, sure, but I feel like Arkansas hasn't competed much yet, kind of like, the Kansas-Missouri kind of matchup. But I think they may start out nice, but Ole Miss should wear them down as the game goes on. So I'm on Ole Miss.
Would you still take the Hogs at the plus 6.5, Mac? I know you got a better number.
Yeah, because I think Arkansas is live to win the game.
Me too.
I think Arkansas is going to be able to move the football at will. I hear everything with the Arkansas defense. I agree, but I think Ole Miss sucks defensively. I'm going to take the Hogs, man. I like Taylor Green year 2 with Bobby Petrino. Him in that motorcycle, baby. So yeah, give me them Hogs, man.
Let's move on to the next one.
I love
I
Bobby,
agree. I would still be Arkansas even below a touchdown.
Me and Kyle have a bet on this, but it's wildly not there anymore.
It's a touch. I have Old Dominion.
We got 12.5. We both got
12.5. It's now 5.5. How do you bet Virginia Tech? Honestly,
they're trash, aren't they?
You think we're going to be looking at a new era of Virginia Tech football? I mean, how do you come back from what Vanderbilt just did?
I'm completely agree. With that said, I'll take the Hokies here. This is a Hokie buy low spot here. I mean, the fact that we're getting less than a touchdown against Old Dominion in the 7-5-7 here. I mean, this is Virginia Tech. You guys got to pop up and have a little bit of pride. I know I'm not supposed to like Virginia Tech because I hate West Virginia and Virginia Tech have a big rivalry, but this is a proud program.
Doesn't look very proud.
They got their ass whipped by Vanderbilt in the second half last weekend. That was embarrassing. 34-0. So yeah, give me the points. Or sorry, I'm gonna give me the Hokies and a little bit of pride today in Blacksburg.
I'll put up Old Dominion. I don't know if I would actually bet it at 5.5, but honestly, it would still. I mean, what we just saw Pavia do to the Virginia Tech defense was offensive.
Crazy.
Offensive. They averaged 8.3 yards per play. That's Ohio State versus Akron type of offensive numbers. 8.3 yards per play. Colton Joseph's actually a similar quarterback to Pavia. He's a dual threat guy. He's a tough runner. He's a playmaker. He's not afraid to dive for the first down. Honestly, I think Old Dominion's going to move the ball in Virginia Tech. Now, can ODU stop the Virginia Tech? This should be a very good opportunity for Drones to have a big game. If he's even capable, I mean, he hasn't looked good. He wasn't even under pressure in the Vanderbilt game. He just wasn't making the plays. And honestly, kind of the same thing in the South Carolina game. He was under some pressure, but even when he had the clean pocket, he didn't make the throws. So this Virginia Tech team seems broken. Are they quitting on the season? I would be Old Dominion. I don't know if I'd bet it at this number, but I think my pick would still be Old Dominion.
Yeah, I mean, I took him at 12.5. I don't know if I'd take him at 5.5, but just for the show, I'm going to put him on there. I mean, it sucks about Jason Henderson retiring from ODU. I mean, he had an awesome 2023. But I think the linebackers are still going to be fine. I mean, their linebackers were top 3 in their defense yesterday. This Virginia Tech is complete garbage. I mean, Kyron Jones is not good. I can't try to give him the benefit of the doubt with injuries last year, but he's not good. He's overthrowing people. He's indecisive. Now they're playing a national championship contender in ODU. Virginia Tech's offense really does seem broken. I mean, there's no rush offense. There's no pass offense. Their leading receiver has 7 catches. I mean, no running back is over 100 yards yet in 2 games. I mean, Old Dominion played tough, Indiana tough the first game. I think their offense is pretty good. I love their front 7. They should get the drones. Virginia Tech's allowed 5 sacks through their 2 games. And when they weren't allowing sacks, I mean, Drones has been on the run trying to make plays. I know Old Dominion's secondary is not great, but do they really have to be? I mean, what has Virginia Tech has shown in the last 2 games that really makes you confident in their offense or defense? So yeah, I'm on ODU here. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a newer rivalry, so I like ODU.
Let's go Monarchs.
Let's go, baby.
I like this bet, and honestly, I've been watching a lot of college football content the last few days, and most of the people I seem to agree with me here on Georgia Southern. So they're off to a terrible start. They've looked really bad. Both their games out west on the road. They finally get a home game, right? And they get a home game against a Jacksonville State defense that has looked like it cannot stop the pass at all. They've been thrown on. They haven't even played tough competition, and they're getting thrown on. They played UCF in Scott Frost's first game with a brand new roster. Still gave up like 330 yards passing in the game. So it's looking like this Jacksonville State team can't cover anybody. The reason that's significant, if you know anything about Clay Helton, if there's one thing he can do is scheme up a passing attack. I mean, Georgia Southern usually the last couple of years under Clay Helton has had a strong offense. We haven't seen it yet. Kind of a weird start to the schedule with 2 games on the West Coast. Finally home against a very bad defense. I think Georgia Southern might score 55 points in this game. So Georgia Southern puts up a big number, covers the spread. I'd like Georgia Southern to beat them up on them.
Yeah, I honestly, this is one of this made our card for the contest. We love Georgia Southern over there at the College Experience. I think it's a good spot. First home game. Jacksonville State's not good. I know they got the big win last week against Liberty. But now they're hitting the road. They lost the real ball coach, Rich Rod. So yeah, lay the points.
Real ball coach, Scoop.
Yeah, Jacksonville State I thought would be terrible this year with a completely overhauled team. I mean, so far covered over UCF and Liberty, underdogs here for a third straight. I'm taking Georgia Southern. I think Georgia Southern offense should be able to move the ball. They had 14 against Fresno at Fresno, 20 against USC at USC. I think Jacksonville State's defense is far worse, obviously, than both teams. I mean, obviously worse than USC's, but this is Georgia Southern's first home game. I mean, last big, out of conference game before starting their Sun Belt. They do play Maine next week, so I think this is the kind of game Georgia Southern will win. No, their defense hasn't played well in their first 2 games, but both games were flying across country to play better teams than them. So I think Georgia Southern is just a way better team than Jacksonville State, and Georgia Southern's offense, I believe, is better than UCF and Liberty. So I think they're. I'm not a huge JC French fan by any means, but Jacksonville State's secondary hasn't been tested at all so far. So I like Georgia Southern this one.
They haven't been tested, and they're still giving up 325 passing yards a game. Next up, I don't know about this one. I think we all kind of just assumed Southern Miss would be Marshall from last year. I don't know if they are. I also don't know how good App State is. I did take them in the -4 or whatever in the opener. Who the hell did they beat up on? Coastal. Oh, no, it wasn't Coastal, was it? Who did they beat up? Who did App State beat up on in the opener?
Charlotte.
Oh,
Charlotte. Yeah, I did pick App State in that one, and they beat up on Charlotte pretty bad. So App State might be strong with A.J. Swan. I really don't have a feel for either team, so I'm all ears. I guess at the current number, I would pick Southern Miss, but I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm taking Southern Miss as a home dog. I like Southern Miss this year. I said it before. I mean, this is Marshall team, like we said, for the most part from last year. Only an 18-point to Jackson State last week. Jackson State was held to 10 before the 4th, but really Southern Miss controlled that game. The pass defense of Southern Miss is solid. If you look at App State, they beat Lindenwood by 7 last week, 4 turnovers, lost a time of possession that game. They committed a ton of penalties. Plans threw it pretty well for Lindenwood. Southern Miss's line should be able to shut down App State's offensive line. This is each team's conference opener. Charles Huff beat App State by 15 last year. I really think the overall football team is just better than App State. So, I'm going to take Southern Miss in the points here.
Mac?
I'm going to take my Southern Miss team. I think this line is disrespectful. I think we're giving too much credit to Loggins and company down there at App State. This is a tough road spot down in Hattiesburg. I don't think Southern Miss is as bad as everybody's making them out to be. They lost to Mississippi State. What'd they do? They turned around and beat Arizona State the next week. So, yeah, give me Southern Miss. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. That one opened. That is taking App State money. So now that it's above 3, maybe it's a play. It's Southern Miss. Florida LSU. I really think the Gators defense is going to show out. LSU's yet to play a good offensive game. And look, it's Brian Kelly. We're going to see one eventually. But I think Florida's defense is really going to show out here. I think they're getting Caleb Banks back at the defensive line. That's their big defensive tackle. He hasn't played yet this year. Pretty sure he's set to come back. Florida coming off the ugly loss. They beat up on this LSU team last year. I think this is a game. I have Florida and the under, and I bet both. Got good numbers on this one. For the show, I'm going to take the +7 as my pick. But yeah, at the current number, I think Florida's +7 would be my favorite pick. But yeah, I think this is a game that comes down to the wire. I think we see Florida bounce back in a major way, and this LSU team is strong. So by no means am I thinking Florida's just going to go in there and beat up on them. I just think this is a back and forth game. Comes down to the last possession. You agree, Mac?
100%. I think Florida's live in this game. I mean, this is one of my favorite college basketball trends, and I think it relates to college football, where you lose as a favorite outright, then you go the next game and you're catching points. I call it the foxhole spot. The candidates this week are what? Florida, West Virginia, Eastern Michigan. Last week, Army lost to Tarleton as a 14-point favorite, then won at K-State as a 17-point dog. So I think it's a pride game for Florida here. And if you know this rivalry, Florida LSU, these games are crazy. These games always come right down to the wire. The Tebow game way back in the day where he stuffed at the goal line, the flip over the head, fake field goal game. But I just think Florida defensively can get after Nussmeier here. I think LSU wins by a field goal. I think this is going to be a classic.
Scoop, Gators?
No, I'm on LSU. It's down to 6.5 on ESPN Bet if you want to grab that.
Ooh, that thing's plummeting, man.
Florida's offense, I mean, it's completely shut down by Gaulish. Florida's defense is awesome. Byron Brown also ripped his Florida defense apart. Played better than Lagway. LSU didn't look much better.
Ripped this defense apart. Okay.
Look at his numbers. I mean, Florida looked like absolute dog shit. So I feel like these teams, I'm on the under 2. This is started at 9.5. I mean, Florida's message boards, like we said, were great. That team's going to be a mess. I mean, let's not forget, Florida ended the season losing 3 straight. I mean, Florida's defense did hold up for the most part, but you still can't allow that many yards and broken plays to a lower team. Now you're going to LSU with Nussmeier at the helm and an offense who really hasn't shown what they're capable of. And if LSU's defense plays like they had the first 2 weeks, Florida's going to be in for a rough game. Wes Weeks is going to have a day with Lagway and Florida's run game. I don't trust I just don't trust Napier going in. Now it's 6.5. I don't see that at all. LSU's better team on both sides of the ball. I think this will go under, though, but I'm on LSU with the point.
I think Florida might win outright. This is another one. There were 3 dogs where I have the points, and then I put another half unit on the money line. It's West Virginia, it's Florida, and the Aggies. See that segue?
Oh, yeah. I like it, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Aggies. Get this Notre Dame love out of here.
Yeah, so the numbers I got with Texas A&M money line, Florida money line, West Virginia money line, I just need one of them because they were all above plus 200. I just need one of them to win. And I think at least one of them, I honestly think all 3 of them could be live. But yeah, I'm on Texas A&M here. Look, there is clearly people sharper than I am that are strong on the Notre Dame side here. Because every single time this touched 6, Notre Dame got 6, got bought right back up. So clearly there are people out there that really like Notre Dame. I think this number is crazy. I don't understand how you make Notre Dame 6.5, 7 points better than Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M is one of the strongest teams in the country in terms of talent. I'm not really sold on Marcel Reese. I'm not sold on CJ Carr either, though. Like, I don't understand. I don't even know where Notre Dame is stronger than Texas A&M. Like, what position group would Notre Dame be strong? Like, I think Texas A&M might be the better team. Now, that's crazy. It's Notre Dame. They're at home. They play really well in this building under Freeman. I understand why Notre Dame's favored, but 6.5 feels crazy to me. There's something I'm missing because there are sharp people that lay in the big number with Notre Dame. So I'm on Texas A&M. I also have the money line. Either you guys on Notre Dame?
No. I'm on Elko, man. That defense against a young quarterback. I get why people might want to jump to Notre Dame just because they're off a bye week, and they're off a loss. But I think it's a disrespect to Texas A&M. This is a good program. Defensively, offensively, in the trenches, they're just as good as Notre Dame. So Marcel Reed did not play the game last year. That was Wegman, and he was awful in that game. So I like A&M here. I think they're live in this game just like Florida. This could be a fun game.
It's going to be an awesome game. There's a lot of – honestly, the from 3:30 on is electricity today. The early slate's a little rough, but from 3:30 on, electricity. Scoop, Aggie up with us.
Yeah, Aggie up. I think Marcel Reed and the offense is going to put up points. I know A&M played Utah State and UTSA, 2 teams that aren't great defenses, but mean, Notre Dame still only played one at Miami 2 weeks ago. I don't know what CJ Carr is yet. It's probably going to be good, but your second start and you're taking on one of the better secondaries in the SEC who returned pretty much all their starters from last year. Their D-line may be a bit shaky, but I don't really know what Notre Dame's, they got to use their running backs more. They didn't really use Jeremiah Love last game, but A&M's offense is better than Miami's. Their running back room is, probably one of the best in the country, and I don't really like Notre Dame's interior line. I feel like A&M can run at a good clip here and open it up for. I'm not a huge Marcel Reed fan, but he can scramble. He can find some room. I think this line belongs more at the 3.5 level. A&M has the offense to stay with any team, so I'm taking A&M.
All right, now we get to a true test. I'm going to let Matt go first. Do you believe in Coach Creighton?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Let's go.
We're live in this game. I talked about the Foxhole spot. We had a little setback against the Long Island Sharks last week, but hey, Kentucky's over. Kentucky's not that good, man. Kentucky, that was a kitchen sink game against Ole Miss last week, but Eastern Michigan, we've seen Creighton pull off the dog wins over multiple Power 4 programs. Give me the points. First half money line, and I think Eastern Michigan is going to be live in this game.
Dead ass, me too. I bet I have money on this. I sent this out. Like, I am on this game. Worst number, I got 24.5. Obviously, I would rather have the 27. But yeah, just like Max said, guys, Eastern Michigan just lost to the LIU Sharks. I know that, but we've seen this movie before. Eastern Michigan looks terrible under Chris Creighton. Then they go on the road and beat a Power 4 opponent. He's beaten 4 Power 4 opponents on the road during his tenure. 4. Rutgers, Purdue, Illinois, Arizona State, all 4 went on the road, beat them outright. This is a guy that knows how to get his team with inferior talent ready to compete with a napping big dog. And we got Kentucky, who, by the way, I don't even know if their offense is that good to begin with. Rolling in with a backup quarterback that's inexperienced. I'm on Eastern Michigan. Coach Creighton. Scoop's going to hate it because he hates on Chris Creighton. But
he's a hater.
He doesn't understand good coaching.
Anytime I can bet against Chris Creighton, I'm going to do it. Eastern Michigan is such a bad team, such a bad coach. It's time for a complete overhaul there. They got destroyed by Texas State, and then they lost at home to Long Island, a team that finished 4-8 in the Northeast Conference last year. Yes, I know Kentucky's offense needs to get going. They haven't really clicked. Their defense is holding up, but this needs to be a breakout game for that offense. Dowdle and McGowan is going to run the ball just all over. I know Quezada had 0 touchdowns. He's not playing, right? They said
no. He's out.
Yeah, so listen, he had a 47% completion percentage. So either way, Eastern Michigan's run defense is brutal. They got killed by Texas State. They barely held down Long Island running the ball. Kentucky's offense is primarily a ground game anyway. It's just hard to see how Kentucky just doesn't absolutely destroy this team. Eastern Michigan does have a decent run game themselves, but Kentucky's D-line has been strong through 2 games, should dominate both lines of scrimmage. Yeah, this is a dog walk of the day. Kentucky just destroys them.
Let's move on to the next one.
Disrespecting us, Kirms.
He's going to look like an idiot later.
Later, I look like an idiot all the time. So
also, I'm going to send him so many ChatGPT Chris Creighton images, like Chris Creighton dunking on him, like all kinds of shit. Next up, now normally this is another game where we've seen one-sided action. I mean, they've been taking nothing but Vanderbilt money from the start. This is like 7.5, 7, 6.5, 6. It's been going one way, and normally in these markets, eventually you hit a buyback. I'm yet to seeing any buyback on South Carolina. In fact, you can get a juice 2.5 right now. You have to really pay for it, but everybody with influence that's betting this game is on the Vanderbilt side. At what point have we reached a number where it's like, you know what? I think you have to play South Carolina. I think at 3, you have to have the conversation of whether or not it's gone too far. Mac, has it gone too far?
Yeah, I think it has. This is a back-to-back road spot for Vandy. And I know Pavia, the voodoo, he just keeps pissing all over us. But I'm gonna take the Cox here. I think the Gamecocks are gonna get it home, get it done at home. I think prime time, that Bryce Williams Stadium, that place could be rocking tonight. I know they're replacing a lot defensively, but I think Sellers is good enough here to lay the 3 against Vandy.
Yeah, I'm going to bump South Carolina. I honestly, now that there's a 3, I might even bet it. I don't even like South Carolina. I don't even think they're nearly as good as they're hyped up to be. The offense has been insanely underwhelming so far this year. They haven't really looked good in either game, but I like this matchup. Sellers has really good numbers when he's not under pressure this year. He's actually been pretty good, connect on to big throws when given a clean pocket. Vanderbilt doesn't have a pass rush. So just like last year, I think even though I don't really trust South Carolina's offense to consistently move the chains, I think there's going to be opportunities for Sellers to connect on some big ones. That one receiver they got, I forget his name. He's like 6'5", 230. Like, he's a deep ball threat.
He's great.
Yeah, what's his name again? Why can't I think of his? It's like Nick. I can't think of his name, but he's like
I'm drawing a
huge.
blank on his name, too.
Yeah, he was like 6'5".
Good. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's
he's 6'5", 230, and he runs like a 4.35. He's a freak athlete. I wouldn't be surprised if he catches a deep touchdown or two. I think there's going to be opportunities here. Scoop, you're going to be on South. So Scoop's always on South Carolina.
Look, I got my Cox shirt on, repping the Cox today. I'm a big cock lover. I mean, listen, I love Pavia. I know what they are. I mean, listen, Pavia's Pavia. Even when Pavia is not, isn't amazing, I feel like he always finds a way to win. I mean, South Carolina's coming off that whatever game against SC State. It didn't really have to do much. I'm not really sure they had to, and I know they kind of struggled with that same Virginia Tech team. It was pretty bad. Something Vanderbilt didn't do in the second half. But, I mean, Cox on paper looked way better than Vandy. I mean, Vanderbilt the past 2 years have found ways to win these games. Sellers is way better than Drones and obviously better than anything Charleston Southern had. I'm taking South Carolina. I know it's dumb for me to fade Pavia since every year they're a moneymaker, or the last year they were a moneymaker, but I mean, they're better than a 3-point favorite to Vandy. I mean, South Carolina hasn't had a run game, but I mean, the Cox are going to find a loose hole in this game. I mean, the front seven is just not that great for Vandy. I feel like they're going to pound the hole. I mean, South Carolina's defense is solid too. So if Pavia beats me, it is what it is. But Cox up, cock lover.
I can't believe you just said that sentence in front of thousands of people. But
there's over 1,000 people watching this.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality. If I love Cox, I love Cox.
Talking about his Cox.
Yeah. Interesting phrasing choice too.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So, Utah's maybe a believer. Although it doesn't look as good now, seeing that New Mexico did the same thing to UCLA.
I know.
So my initial impression of Utah was, wow, this offense might be unstoppable. And I haven't backed off that take. But the more I was looking at it, I was talking to somebody about this game last night, and I don't have a bet on it, but don't you think, Mac, that there's a little bit of Texas Tech in this game? Maybe a little bit of a overblown number due to the fact that they beat up on a couple teams?
And if you know the history of Wyoming football, the Power 4 teams that go there, they struggle. I mean, Texas Tech last year, 2 years ago, to your point, lost outright. Texas A&M has lost there. Virginia's lost there. You go down the list. Anybody that's gone to Laramie, a.k.a. Laradice, has struggled. And I love Utah, man. I feel like I was at the front of the Utah train in this offseason. But this is a bad spot. I'm all over the points. This is another first half money line for me. I think Wyoming's they'll compete like they always do in that building. Give me the points.
Yeah, I'm actually close to betting this one. I was just talking to TJ in the chat last night, like 4 a.m, and he likes it. So I'm thinking about jumping on Wyoming on this one. This might be a bet I add. Yeah, I'm putting up the pokes as well. Scoop, you with us?
I lean Utah. I said Wyoming's offense would be better than their defense this year. I don't know what to think of really Wyoming yet. I know they shut down a really bad Akron team. They only scored 10, but in a Northern Illinois game, I mean, Caden Anderson threw for 167, and it's not like an offensive outburst by any means. They have a lot of penalties. 20 penalties through 2 games is wild, but I mean, Utah's defense is just always a monster, even with their turnover. Wyoming just has nothing going offensively so far that makes me want to bet them. I don't know if their defense can hold down Dampier, Parker, or Rogers. Utah's run game is going to be there. I know Wyoming's going to make a few stops, but it's just can't put faith in their offense yet. I don't think Caden Anderson's a bad quarterback at all. Anything's better than Sabota from last year, but I think Utah. I would lean Utah, but I didn't bet it or anything.
I also wouldn't hate an over there, by the way. Next up, I still don't. Why is Duke still underdogs?
Overreaction to last week. Anybody that watched that game, I know if you had Illinois, you won your bet, but I mean, Duke lost a turnover battle by 5. I think Duke's pretty good. Yeah. I like that. I like that defense. I like Mensa. Just don't turn the ball over 5 times, and I think we'll get to the winner's circle here.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you just said. Duke averaged 7 yards per play in that Illinois game.
Against a good defense.
Yeah, I was not a Mensa hater, but I was saying Mensa's overrated all offseason. Mensa kind of made me a believer in a 45-19 loss or whatever. I was really impressed by Mensa last week. That offense, the turnover battle was 5-0. If it wasn't for that, I mean, Duke wins that game. They were moving the ball a lot more efficiently than Illinois was. So yeah. Duke has made me a believer. I think this team's really strong. Illinois, a top 25 offensive line. They averaged like 2.3 yards per carry in the game. Couldn't run the ball at all against this defensive line. So I like Duke a lot. And Tulane, man, all they've been doing so far is running the football. What's his name? Retzlaff has not shown as much in terms of a passing attack. You're not going to run the ball on Duke. So I like Duke a lot. I don't know why they're still underdogs. I thought Duke would be closing as favorites, but it did switch over to Duke as favorites, and it looks like it swung right back. So I'm on Duke. I like this one.
Yeah, this line has been all over. It was a pickup for a while. I think Duke is the better team. I know Tulane's going to be fired up for Mensa coming back to home for the $8 million man. $7 million more than Ted DiBiase. Is he alive? The Ted DiBiase, the wrestler, the old wrestler? Or Virgil? The Virgil is alive.
I don't keep tabs on him, Scoop.
You should, man. I mean, Ted DiBiase was the man. Listen, Duke had 3 fumbles in that Illinois game. The first half they were down 4 and it just fell apart. To be honest, I don't really have any clue in this game. I mean, there's reason to take both sides, but I would take Duke if I was taking a side. I mean, I know Mensa's better than Retzlaff. I mean, Tulane's going to have a down year, I feel. I just don't see them doing enough on both sides of the ball to stay in games throughout the year. You can't have Retzlaff throwing for 125 yards. I kind of think that Duke game was a runoff. That the mistakes in that game was kind of ridiculous. The score really isn't indicative of how Duke played. I knew Tulane has a really front seven, but the way Mensa's throwing the ball, they could take advantage of the Tulane secondary. So I would take Duke here.
All right, next game. And we got 5 left, and then we'll do like a favorite bet of the day or something. The market moved against me here. I thought it was such a cool bet. I thought this was going to close really well. I got the over in this game. Buy low on the Tulsa offense. That's improved. The head coach there said they want to be an air raid offense this year. He said that in a press conference. We haven't really seen it yet. Last week was just like an ultimate letdown, right? You lose to New Mexico State on the road, and everyone was gassing you up. I think you come back home and get back on track here. I don't think they could stop the Navy offense, but Navy secondary isn't very good. And I think Tulsa can throw the ball on them. I think this is an easy over. Here's the problem. I bet it at 53.5. It went down. So clearly, people smarter than me disagree. I really liked this bet when I placed it. But the market disagrees. I don't think I have a graphic for it. I'll just type it. I'm on over 53.5. You can get a better number than that, and the market disagrees. So take that information to do with it what you want. I'll take over 52. Mac?
I'm on Tulsa. I think they're well coached. Last week was disappointing, but they outgained them by 200 yards. I just they completely choked that game away. So getting 2 touchdowns against a triple option team, I'll take the points. Let's go.
Yeah, I would lean towards Tulsa plus the points also. I'd like the over better. Scoop?
I would take Navy. I mean, as much as Tulsa improved, Navy should get a ton of rushing production here. They open, their American conference with a win against UAB, another bad defensive team. The thing with UAB is they can hang with Navy offensively. I don't think Tulsa can. Horvath has been here for Navy. I mean, didn't play Tulsa last year. That would have been a bloodbath. But I don't see Tulsa shutting down Navy's option game. I think Navy's kind of being overlooked this year. People don't really expect back-to-back 10-win seasons. I don't know. I feel like this team's going to go 8-0 before the Notre Dame game, personally. As long as the offensive line holds up, that was the biggest question mark going into the season since they lost 4 or 5 pieces. And Tulsa still has a brand new defense. Improved, yeah, but I think it's going to take a while to hang with the top teams in the AAC. So I think Navy wins this game.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And we've got 4 games or 3 games left. 4 games left. And Air Force, Utah State. Man, I don't know.
You know me, I love me some Utah State.
Yeah, I know, but I'm look, Bronco Mendenhall, the way you guys have gassed them up, it's kind of made me a believer.
Me and him and Cho, those are my 2 guys.
Not Cho. I'm more on board with Mendenhall than I am Cho. I mean, that team sucks, Nevada. This team, what Mendenhall did with New Mexico last year was really impressive, even though it could have been Dampier and Beck instead of him. We'll see. I'm really strong on this Air Force team. I talked about this game earlier in the week. I think I said over or pass. For the show, I'll take Air Force. But honestly, like I'm not sure if I want to lay 4.5 on the road against Mendenhall. But I think Air Force is in really good position to try and win the Mountain West here. So last year was a very unique year for Air Force. They had lost everybody. Remember, this isn't a team that reloads in the portal. So they had lost everybody. It was a very unique season for Air Force. And people forgot, or not people forgot, maybe some people forgot, Air Force wins like 9 or 10 games every single year, and they're back on track. And I think this is top 2 outside of Boise, strongest team in the Mountain West. So I'll take Air Force for the show.
This was my first bet I made this week. I love Air Force here. I think Air Force is going to compete, like you just said, in the Mountain West. They played 1 game so far against Bucknell, so really their season's just started, and they jump right into Mountain West play. Utah State, they had wins against UTEP, lost against A&M. I mean, Utah State's offense is going to be decent this year. But Air Force's offense and the running attack should give Utah State problems. Utah State's defense is brand new with Nick Howell and Mendenhall. I don't think they're going to slow Air Force's run game down. The issue with Air Force was their running game last year just wasn't good at all, but their team ended strong, winning last 4. They returned the majority of their offensive line. Their same running backs are from last year. Air Force is going to control the line of scrimmage offensively. They're going to average, I would say, like 7 yards per carry here. And Utah State, through 2 games, has moved the ball better than I thought they would, but Air Force's front 7 should be able to hold them down long enough while their offense chews up the clock. Historically, this is a high-scoring game. I think 5 of the last 6 went over, but Air Force on both sides of the ball is better than Utah State, even on the road. So I would look towards an over 2, but I like Air Force here.
Mac, you with us?
Listen, I love Air Force. They're my dark horse in the Mountain West, but not so fast, baby. Give me Bronco Mendenhall as a home dog, baby. Love the pig farmer at the quarterback position here. I think this is going to be a field goal game. I think I'm really looking forward to this. This line is not budged at all. I thought Air Force would take a lot of money, and this might go to 6 or 7, but it is not weighed off of 4.5, and I think we get a field goal game. So give me the points with my guy Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah, this is a late one too. This will be a fun one to have on a TV late.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you'll be passed out.
That atmosphere is going to be.
You're going to be passed out.
Mac will be passed out.
And Mac's going to be on the couch getting burned alive.
I mean, it'll be on. I'll be watching. I don't know how coherent I'll be, but I will be watching.
Will you be out somewhere, or will you be in a hotel or home?
I'll be out. I'll be out. You know me, man. I like to be in the trenches.
Mac's going to watch tape tomorrow.
People will not hear from me till Monday morning.
I like to be in the trenches, he said.
I'm in the trenches, baby. Let's go.
I'm all ears. If one of you guys, I don't know what to do with this game. Minnesota Cal. I thought Cal was going to be bad entering the season, and then they come out and the quarterback looks like Andrew Luck. Like what the hell? Who even is that? So Cal is a quarterback now. Minnesota, I think, is pretty strong in terms of defending the run. They've got a running back there, but they've got a redshirt freshman at quarterback. I don't know, and I feel like I have no feel on either team. I'm all ears.
Give me Cal. One trend, I'm going to keep backing it. You go to the West Coast, you're going to lose. The Big Ten teams have struggled like crazy going out west, and this game is what, a 10:30 kick. I've been impressed, man. And people were ready to fire Wilcox and company, but I think they're well coached. Give me the points.
Scoop.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota had a rough week 1. They dominated Northwestern State, which actually made them forfeit midway through the 4th quarter. Yeah, Minnesota should be really solid this year. Both teams are freshman quarterbacks. I mean, Cal is Sagapalatelli, and the freshman, I mean, he's looked great in 2 weeks, handed it to Oregon State, FCU win after, and Minnesota with Drake Lindsey's looked good too. I mean, I think Sagapalatelli is probably a better quarterback, but I feel like Minnesota is a different kind of animal that Cal has played. Oregon State looks really bad, we just said. I mean, Cal hasn't really had a running game so far, so it's hard to see that all of a sudden coming into play with Minnesota. Minnesota's front 7 is solid. It'll pressure him more than he's had in the first 2 games. I do think Minnesota's offense and defense is better here. Both teams should be in for tough games. Should be a really fun one to watch. 2 freshman quarterbacks and 2 teams on the come up here. I didn't bet this. Like, I was with Kyle. I have no real conviction on either side, but I think Minnesota is a better team, so I'm going to take Minnesota lane 2.5.
I'm putting up Cal for the show because we're going to pick for every single game, see who has the best record, but I honestly have no idea. That's a straight pass for me. All right, next up, Boston.
That Minnesota quarterback's young too, by the way. Lindsey.
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah.
out on the West Coast. Yeah.
I think the West Coast.
I've heard a lot of people, a lot of sharp folks that like Stanford in this one. Are you one of them, Mac?
Oh, absolutely, man. Hey, sleepy spot in Palo Alto, baby. Who the hell is Boston College to be laying 2 touchdowns on the road ever? I mean, is Doug Flutie the quarterback? I don't get it. Yeah, give me Stanford, man. This is Stanford every now and then will pick off somebody at home. I think they're live in this game. I think this line is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I agree. I'll put up Stanford too, as crazy as it sounds. And in that opener against Hawaii, remember, Stanford probably should have won the game. Well, even though Hawaii kept the penalties and kept shooting themselves in the foot. So maybe that's not the best way to describe it. But Stanford was running the football, and that Hawaii defense isn't bad. 14 seems like a big number to lay on the road, out on the West Coast, across the country for Boston College, against a Stanford team that's going to play slow as shit. They're going to hand the ball off. They're going to grind the clock. It's going to be tough to win by more than 2 touchdowns the way this game's going to go. So I honestly might bet this. God damn it. Stanford plus the points. You with us, Scoop?
Yeah, I would take Stanford. I know Stanford's so bad. I mean, Gulbranson hasn't thrown a touchdown yet with 3 picks. I mean, Micah Ford can only do so much for this team. I mean, listen, Boston College through 2 games. I mean, obviously their offense is clicking. Bill O'Brien has done well with his new quarterback, but I'm a bit concerned about their defense. They didn't look good against Michigan State and Aiden Childs. I mean, Aiden Childs had his career high in touchdowns, but they fly across country, one of the furthest road trips for any team. Didn't look all that good against I mean it's one of the furthest. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go into Stanford's home opener and a Big Ten opener at night. Flying to Hawaii opening night was rough. Going to BYU, who looks like a completely dominant defense through 2 games, is harder. I think this is a good landing spot for them. Their offense isn't as bad as you think it is, and their defense through 2 games have been tough. Their offense just hasn't given anything to help out. They held BYU to 4.9 yards per play. They're actually pretty solid so far in 2 games, and their red zone defense has been awesome. So their defense should make things difficult, and maybe their offense actually helps move the ball for the first time. But like what Max said, this is also the first time since 2021 where Boston College is a double-digit road favorite. So I mean, it's been 4 years since they've been this high of a favorite. I don't trust Boston College going on the road and giving 14. So no.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Texas State, Arizona State. I added this one, Scoop. I don't know if you had it on the list.
I did. It was at the end.
Oh, did you? Well, the reason I made sure it was on there is because I actually bet this game. Got a good number, but I'd still bet it at this number. Over. Honestly, it might be over in every single Texas State. That quarterback, obviously they lose McLeod from last year, and there were questions coming in at the quarterback position. Quarterback's pretty damn good. They got there. They can run the football. I trust Texas State to score points. What they did in the Eastern Michigan game was really impressive. The quarterback making his first start, too. So they could score points. I never really thought this Arizona State defense was that good anyway. So Texas State could score. They might not make a single stop in this game. This is the perfect game for Arizona State to get their shit together. I understand why this number is being bet up. I wouldn't take Arizona State at the big number. I'm just saying I understand why it's getting bet up. It was at 2 touchdowns. Seems like some action's coming in on the Arizona State side. I think Arizona State could score 40 in this game, and Texas State's going to hang 23-24 right back. So give me the over. I got a good number. I would still bet it at 60.5.
I'm on the Bobcats. To put in perspective, Texas State was favored against Arizona State last year. I know we did the market correction last week with Mississippi State, got across the finish line. I think this line is way inflated. And I'm not a believer in Arizona State this year. They won all those one-score games last year. I love Leavitt and company, but I think this defense has holes. I think Texas State can move the ball. So, yeah, give me the points. I think Arizona State probably wins by 7 to 10 points. And old Pac-12 versus new Pac-12 here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Arizona State overcorrecting might be a play this year. Just
keep fading them.
The mark Texas State was favorite. And Texas State should have won that game, by the way.
Yes.
They fumbled on their own 20 at the end of the game to lose. It was a tie game. They had the ball. They fumbled on their own 20. That's how they lost to Arizona. It's crazy that Arizona State went to the playoffs. So when you look back, like they should have lost so many games. But anyway, Scoop.
Yeah, I'm on the over. It's hard to go under in this game, even 60.5. I mean, Texas State doesn't have a defense. They just score points. GJ Kinney and his team is just going to score points here. I mean, 95 points in 2 weeks. They don't really have a run game they use here, but they're not going to really try to towards the end. I mean, Arizona State's a good team. I'm not going to say they're not a good team, but I think they could definitely they could cover this game. But Arizona State's going to give up pass plays, and plus on the other side, they're going to use their run game pretty much to run all over Texas State. Texas State does not have a good run defense, so I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Not a lot of stops on either side, so I'm definitely on the over on this one.
All right, let's each pick a favorite bet, and then let's go enjoy our Saturday. So, favorite bet of numbers that are available right now. I think mine might be Duke.
I like it.
I think a favorite bet, that number that you can get right now, I think it's that Duke +2. I think they're much better than Tulane. So I'm putting Duke up as my favorite bet numbers that's available right now. Mac?
Oh, I'm going to go step right out and be right there.
Oh, yeah.
Eat your pit. I mean, disrespectful. Giving us north of a touchdown. We're going to win the game outright. Mountaineers by $1 billion. Let's go, baby.
Scoop, favorite bet, favorite bet that's available right now?
East Carolina -10. Not even. We didn't even talk about it.
East Carolina.
Also, Akron UAB over is going to go over. LA Tech.
I like that over too.
Yeah.
Wait. What do you like in the LA Tech game?
Under.
I like La Tech to cover that. Is it 9.5? I like La Tech to cover that.
But no, I like the Akron and UAB over. I like the East Carolina -10. I think Coastal is such a bad team.
They're horrible.
They're so bad. East Carolina is going to pass all over that team. It's going to be a brutal game.
All right, let's go enjoy our Saturday. Mac, enjoy your day, man. Everyone, thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. for the NFL show. Don't get killed today, Mac.
Try to stay alive. Can you at least check in, every I'm gonna be your mom? Can I just check in, make sure you're at home by midnight?
Hey, I'll send you a text message with the cigar after.